Hello, I'm back again, and you'll be pleased to know that my sinuses are also back again. Not acting very well today, so I'm a bit stuffed up. So, this gives me a chance then, as it's icy cold outside, to talk about a stamp that I've just discovered as I'm going through my stamps, and it's of a place that I've never heard of. It's the Republica Malagasy. So I had to look it up and discover what and where this place was, and a little bit of history about it, and maybe I could share it with you. So first of all, we go up here and we look at the French colonies, and it's actually part of one of these colonies, as were French Sudan, Gabon, Grand Comoro, Ivory Coast, Madagascar, Mauritania. Well, I can tell you straight from the off, it is the southern part of Madagascar. So a little bit of history about the Republica Malagasy. It was created when General de Gaulle was in charge of France in 1958 when he took over. They decided to sort of decolonise, and that involved Madagascar, which is a big island. It's a big old island. But there was a bit of tension, as there is in these places, between the people who lived in the south and the people who lived in the north. So Malagasy was actually created as a state, if you will, independent of Madagascar in 1958, and it became independent from France in 1960, and it remained independent until increasing tensions over the years. You know what people are like. You know what they like. They can't even live next door to each other. Good Lord. It was all swallowed up by the Democratic Republic of Madagascar, and nobody gave a hoot. And therefore the country, as an independent entity, was gone. The language there is Malagasy, because that's what they speak, and French. The population between those two dates, between 1958 and now, has fluctuated between 5.5 and 7.5 million people. So what we're looking at here is a stamp from that era. I've identified it as from 1961, so it's an early one. It talks about the protection of fauna. So flora would be flowers, fauna would be the animals. And they're very keen on this little fella. And we can see his name. It is the Hapalimur griseus. So that would be, it's faded it out. That would be its proper name. But it's known in English as the Eastern Lesser Bamboo Lemur, and it lives on bamboo, eating bamboo, of which there is a lot, presumably, in Malagasy, and it is native and it is endemic to the place, so it's covered in the little fellas, our relatives. And utter surprise to see this stamp popping up. Now, where am I going to keep it? It's the only one I've ever seen. It is an early one. Is it rare? No. I had a quick look on eBay, and I'm not saying it's common, but it's not worth. It's not worth the £2 that it's written on. So, but it looks. I've got to protect it somehow. It's a protected species, this stamp, a bit like that Eastern Lesser Bamboo Lemur. Actually, they're not protected. I'm sure they're like pests. So I'm sure there's more of them there than there are people. With it, being a very small country, as was one of those countries that has disappeared, that was created and then disappeared, and I'd never heard of it, and I've sort of heard of most countries. I'd never known this. It just goes to show that, in stamp collecting, you're learning stuff all the time. So you come across a stamp and you think, where is that? By the way, when you look at other stamps around that time in Malagasy, a lot of them do feature these lemurs. So they're obviously very proud of them. Anyway, that's my little video for now. I may be back later if I come across anything else of interest. And if you've got any comments, or if you have this stamp yourself, or if you just want to say hello, drop me a comment. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.